Greetings, fellow conquerors, this is darkfireslide, and welcome to another EU4 Top 10. Today I'll be talking about the 10 nations that are the most overpowered at the start of the 1444 game, based on the following criteria: ease of expansion, national ideas, starting resources, user-friendliness, and flexibility in starting strategies. Without dancing too much around the subject, let's talk about the nations that clearly need a nerf. Number 10, Austria. While this nation is undoubtedly powerful, few people would recommend it as a first nation. At number 10, Austria is probably the most interesting to play on this list. You are strong, but not overwhelmingly so. However, with knowledge of the HRE's internal politics, Austria has the leverage it needs to reform the Holy Roman Empire back to a singular state, or a massive vassal swarm if you're into that. Even so, with changes to the HRE over EU4's lifespan, reforming the empire is more complex and strategic than ever before, providing interest for what is arguably the easiest start in the HRE overall. Number 9, Vijayanagar. It wouldn't be a top list of mine without mentioning the country whose name most resembles female genitalia that I always horribly mispronounce. Vijayanagar is the powerhouse of India proper, and can throw its weight around in a way few other countries in the region can. If it can overcome its regional rival, Bamanis, it is virtually unchallenged by anything other than a super alliance or Ming China for practically the rest of the game. There are plenty of places to expand, and your resources are plentiful as well. Before long, you can reform into Bharat and claim the rest of India, and from there, become the world's predominant superpower. Number 8, Muscovy. Still cited by me as one of the most entertaining nations to play in the game, Muscovy's seemingly middling start for a great power are offset by a few factors. For one, they have the option to get a mission at the start of the game that gives them claims over all of Novgorod, allowing them to attack and crush them by December 14th, since Novgorod has an extremely hard time getting alliances. Second, Muscovy's national ideas basically give them quantity ideas for free, which are the best for rapid expansion against weaker powers, which conveniently Muscovy is surrounded by. Muscovy is pretty overpowered at the start for these reasons, but even so, nothing quite beats the feeling of having such a ridiculous amount of soldiers and colonizing Siberia and beyond. Number 7, the Timurids. To this day, my best completed run is as the Timurids, with a total ending development equaling about 3,000. With an empire spanning from India to Anatolia. The Timurids are quite powerful, but have a few flaws, and an Achilles heel in the form of constant Persian rebellions in their lands. If you can reform, however, into the Mughal Empire, you will find yourself an unstoppable juggernaut in the region and can pave the way for a truly epic empire. Number 6, England. Is there a problem money can't fix? That should be the motto of our number 6 nation, because England has access to huge amounts of taxes, production, and trade that most landlocked nations can only dream of. Overcoming France is an easier prospect than ever before, now that France can't ally Austria, and with the 100 Years' War in your favor, you'll be even richer and Frencher. From there, you can feel free to colonize, imperialize, or basically do anything else as you unite the Isles and become the world's predominant economic superpower. It's just a damn shame their national ideas are lacking. Number 5, Casteel. England is rich, but Casteel has a few legs up on England. Their start is offset by a terrible king and heir, but in time they will fade, and Casteel can beat the snot out of virtually anyone in the early game with their 15% bonus morale from their national traditions. Casteel can very easily expand through both conquest and colonization, and their national ideas make it easy to deal with new lands, especially North African turf. Add this to the Iberian wedding event that gives you Aragon and Naples basically for free, and you have a nation which can become an overnight superpower. Similar to Casteel, Poland also gets its own free attack dog nation through a personal union, but unlike Casteel, Poland gets this option virtually at the start of the game. As a large nation, Poland can easily land powerful allies to attack basically anyone and anything in Eastern Europe, and in time can even contest the Ottoman grip on Greece and Anatolia. Combine this with stellar military national ideas, and it's no wonder that even after their recent nerf, the Commonwealth still appears in many games as an AI rival by the endgame. Number 3, France. They don't call it the big blue blob for nothing. France has the most resources to work with in Western Europe at the start of the game, is surrounded by nations which are easy to annex, and begins the game with very strong generals. After expanding to these easy expansion points, France can easily play the colonial game quite well and make tons of money. Furthermore, their third idea, Elan, virtually guarantees victory against any opponent the French might be up against, barring the Prussians. Unlike some of the other nations on this list, France's national ideas are potent throughout the entire game, and they're also poised to be at the center of many institutions as well. Wine, anyone? Number 2, the Ottomans. Many people will tell new players to play as the Ottomans, and it's not hard to see why. The Ottomans have access to many natural and easy points of expansion, and they also gain an early core reduction cost to make things even easier. Their early unit combat pips are superior to anyone else's, and their starting region is rich in taxes, production, and trade alike. Add this to Islam being a strong religion mechanically, with the option for either lower tech costs and taxes, or higher conversion speed and morale, and this powerhouse can dominate the world quite easily, and damn quickly too. It would have made the #1 spot if not for a recent change that makes a certain nation, well, overpowered. But first, let's talk about some honorable mentions, and for this list we have 3. First, we have Hungary, who is quite large, but unfortunately starts with a Regency Council, making their start quite difficult at times. We also have Sweden, who starts with ridiculously strong national ideas and traditions, including infantry combat ability 20%, which allows them to easily cast off their vassal lord, Denmark. And last but not least, we have Mali in Central Africa, who is quite overpowered because they start the game with gold mines, meaning that the economic issues of Central Africa basically don't apply to them. They can also quite easily colonize, which in earlier versions of the game would have meant that it was easier to westernize as well. But, as such, it didn't make the list. And without further ado, let's go on to our #1 pick. Number 1, Ming China. Based on raw development alone, Ming is easily the most powerful nation at the start of the game in 1444. Even though their provinces are capped at 50% autonomy due to the Mandate of Heaven, that's still effectively 550 development to work with, including a massive army, extremely strong production and trade, and the ability to easily fund more expansion and colonies. Their national ideas are also quite good as well. The pervasive threat for Ming is, of course, the loss of the Mandate of Heaven, which causes +5 national unrest across the country that can only be regained by restoring legitimacy. Thankfully, in Rights of Man, it is possible to spend 100 military power to gain 10 legitimacy, making it easy to keep this legitimacy until you can finally shrug off the Celestial Empire government and become, without a doubt, the strongest nation of the world. And who knows, maybe they'll become even stronger in the upcoming Mandate of Heaven DLC. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more EU4 content regularly. Check out the description for more information about the channel, and be sure to check out our Discord server as well. Until next time, Godspeed you brave souls, and I'll see you on the next one.